In today's lesson, which is lesson 1.4, we're going to be looking at what's called the least common multiple. So we looked before at the greatest common factor. That was the largest factor or number that two whole numbers had in common. Today we're going to look at the smallest factor or multiple that two numbers have in common. This is very easy to do. You're going to be given two, or in some cases three numbers, and all you're going to have to do is list out the multiples of that number, compare them, and then circle the smallest or the least common multiple. So let's have a look. Let's start with two easy numbers. We're going to start with 5 and 6. Now this is very easy to do, as I said before, because all I have to do is list out the multiples of each number. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and so on. We all know how to do that, so I'm going to list some of them out. I think that's enough for now, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to do the same thing with 6. Now by looking at the multiples of 6 and the multiples of 5, I'm not seeing anything in common until I come across 30. They have 30 in common. It also happens to be the lowest multiple. So the least common multiple of 5 and 6 is the number 30. Okay, now there's one other way to find the LCM of two numbers, and this is going to come in handy when we have large numbers, numbers in the 90s or the hundreds. We're going to make factor trees, so it's a little bit more involved, but it's really not any harder. So let's do the prime factorization of both these numbers by using factor trees. 2 times 2 are 2 squared, and since they're both prime, I'm finished with 4. $18 I know is 2 times 9. So I have 1 prime, 1 composite. Let's break down the composite. To 3 times 3, everything's prime, so I'm finished with this one. And it actually turns into 2 times 3 squared. So now I'm not completely done because I want to go back to both of the prime factorizations and pick out the largest numbers and make a new equation. So I know that 2 squared is larger than 2, so I'm going to keep the 2 squared. And I want to multiply it by the 3 squared because it's definitely larger than the nothing that's over here. If I solve this, 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 squared is 9. Which will leave me with an answer of 36. So the least common multiple for 4 and 18 would be 36.